Hope all is well with everybody today. Let's get it right. Love Grooves Japan said, salute from Nyagata, Fannon, and the chat. What's up, man? That's out there in Japan, man. In Japan. So what's up? Man, I've never been to Asia. That would be very interesting. I do want to go there. It's one of the spots that I want to get to. Let me get to this channel real quick. Your channel, so I can see, make sure everything is good over here. Think we should. Everybody today, let's get it right. Okay, everything is good over here. Love Grooves Japan said everything is good over here. So, man, let's chop it up, man. We got 61 people in the building. Hey, let's get the likes up as you come on in the building. We got 61 people, 27 people with the thumbs up. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Man, what a crazy world we live in, man. We're going to talk today. For the people on archive, I'll just start talking so you guys don't have to sit around and wait forever, because I know some people do come in behind and just start from the beginning. I'm realizing that. So let me just keep it rolling straight into the show. Errol Spence Jr. And Danny Garcia has been moved according to a bunch of people all over the place. Mo City, Texas say, Mo City, Texas. Shout out Fannon for the real deal boxing commentary. Hey, man. My pleasure. It's my pleasure. What's going on, Colt? What's going on, Alfredo Ramos? What's going on? I see Ryan Fight Official. Yeah, man, they letting it be known, man. And it's going up against. And it's going up against, not up against, it's going to be at the same day as the Errol Spence Jr. Danny Garcia fight. I think that's good news for Ryan Garcia. That's a good look for him. Because it's going to bring attention to his fight. Because everybody in the fight world is going to be watching matches that day. So there's going to be people interested in seeing some good boxing. So I think it's good for everybody. I think it's a good move for everybody all around. And it's not surprising, obviously, man. What's going on, Free Smoke Jr.? Tan Quest Jackson in the building, man. Brandon Felder, what's going on? Reggie Cheese, Alfredo Romas, what's going on, man? Yes, sir, I do see that. Skinny Hardaway in the building. What it do? Man, that's good. I'm chilling, man. We're just going to talk this boxing today. That's it. Just have a good time, man. There's a lot of actually interesting stuff that I have passion about that took place last night. My head was all over the place, man. It's like, I want to do a video about that. I want to do a video about this. Should I ask? Like, so much stuff to talk about. But I had already done my videos for the day, man. So I went on ahead and uploaded them this morning so you guys can check them out. But Errol Spence Jr. versus Danny Garcia moved. Charlo is just flat out, man. Dude, Chris Mannix is a big-ass troll, man. Man, these media people, man, like, for real. These media people, man, what are they on, man? It just doesn't seem like they have a great sense of ethics. You know what I mean? Like, they don't have a real sense of what it is to be ethical. And Chris Mannix is that guy. You have two jobs. He has two jobs. One is to write for, or at least the minimum of two jobs. He probably has more than that, or he may have more than that. But he writes for Sports Illustrated, and he does commentary for Dazn. He went on a tangent on this little raggedy ass podcast. Where he blamed the Jermall Charlo versus Demetrius Andrade's fight not happening on Jermall Charlo. Now, this is after Jermall Charlo just last week was on an interview with Chris Mannix. And Chris Mannix showed exactly how tacky he could be. Jermall Charlo showed how astute he was and how much he knew where Chris Mannix was trying to take the interview. And instead of letting Chris Mannix act a fool like Chris Mannix was just about to do, he's about to try to do him like he does Sergio Mora, or do him like he does some of those other fighters when he's interviewing them on his, show. Try to get up there and start asking Jermall questions about that would lead people to wonder whether or not there was real issues between Jermall and Jermell. Now we know where that came from. That came from just some conversation going on between the two of those dudes and their friends that got out on social media because, dude, everybody got, I mean, at this point in time, even within social media, man, God, dog, you got to recognize that these are family members talking to each other again across social media. Even though you hear it, you should stay out of it. But, that's too much like right. That's too much like right for Chris Mannix to stay out of it. To just say, hey, well, let's just ask about the fight that he's about to fight, which is going to be the Sergey Deverenchenko fight. But Chris Mannix of Sports Illustrated and Dazn, right? Now, this is where I'm saying this is a conflict of interest. He's there clearly he's there representing both Sports Illustrated and Dazn. But why would a representative of Dazn be asking questions of a fighter that fights for Showtime? That would be like, could you imagine if Al Bernstein was on, not Al Bernstein, because Al Bernstein wouldn't do it, but let's just say Al Bernstein decided that he was going to be covering a press conference for a fight on ESPN? Do you think that you would see Al Bernstein doing that? No, you would not see Al Bernstein doing that. Do you think you would see, who are the people that do the interviews when they're standing on the outside and put mics in people's faces? It just doesn't seem quite right. It seems like he was, but anyway, Jermall Charlo told Chris Mannix, he said, you sound like, I don't know who you are, you from Dazn, but if you keep asking me these questions, them BS questions, you can get out the chat. So, and he said, okay, so that was the second question. Let me be really clear. So first thing he did was he asked him about his brother, right? And some garbage like that. Then he moved on to ask about Demetrius Andrade, which is the thing that is now he's now double downing on, or Chris Mannix and Dazn now double down on. When he started asking about, he's, well, what about the the fight offer that was sent to you from Dazn? Like, hold on, man, this is a Showtime fight card. Why are you bringing it? Why would Chris Mannix be asking him about ducking some fighter on another network in that type of press conference? But Jermall Charlo answered the question, and he didn't answer the question. What he said was, like I told you guys before, that is BS. First of all, he didn't send it to me. He sent it to somebody else. So you out here saying that you sent me an offer, you didn't send me the offer. And second of all, if it was an offer that was really for $7 million, I would have taken it. Now, do you feel like asking me some questions about the fight with Sergey Deverenchenko? Like the questions, since Sergey Deverenchenko also used to, didn't Sergey Deverenchenko also fight on DAZN? Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He did. So, if you were not going to ask Daniel Jacobs, you're not going to ask Sergey Deverenchenko about, now I guess that doesn't work. Yeah, well, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it does work. Unless you're going to ask Daniel Jacobs why he's not fighting Jermall Charlo when he's about to fight Sergey Deverenchenko. Or if you're not going to ask in a million years, Gennady Golovkin, why aren't you fighting the WBC champion when he's fighting Sergey Deverenchenko? Why you feel all comfortable asking Jermall Charlo about them? But on top of that, why can't DAZN make a fight for Demetrius Andrade with the other two middleweight champions that they have fighting on their network? Why wouldn't Chris Mannix and those guys ask Canelo Alvarez why he's not fighting Jermall Charlo? You see my point? Hey, yeah, man, I see we in here, man. Y'all hit the like buttons on the way-ins, man. Y'all hit the like button on the way in, man. What's going on, True Religion T? I'm sorry I went into the body of it real quick. I wanted to get at that, man, because it's just really, it's a little too much, man. What's going on? Oh, I've made this. What up, chat? What's up, Mark? What's going on? Who's Mark, man? My name ain't Mark. But what's up, man? How you feeling, man? Hamad S in the building. What's going on, man? Yeah, Maul had Mannix shook. Yeah, and he recovered and started talking a lot of smack. He literally, but the reason this fight isn't happening is because of Jermall Charlo. That's the only thing that I could see. That's the only justification. I'm telling you, this duck game shit is getting way overplayed. Okay? First of all, Demetrius Andrade really ducked Jermall. So if Demetrius not that I mind a fight with Demetrius Andrade and Jermall Charlo. If they make the fight, I'm happy for the fight. But how about Jermall? You know what I mean? Why don't you call out Jermall? See if Jermall will go up there and fight Demetrius Andrade at 168 pounds for his belt. Since he ducked Jermall Charlo at 154, maybe he'd be willing to fight Jermall Charlo at 168. Jermall was willing to fight him for his belt before. Why don't you do that? Why don't you get inventive? You know what I mean? But put some onus on. But you know what it is? It's the clout chasing is what it is. It's clout chasing is what it is. That's what it is. Let me yell loud about how the important fighter in the middleweight division won't fight one of my guys, while you in the middle of another one of your guys begging to get out. Canelo is trying to get out of the biggest contract in the history of sports, and Canelo Alvarez is trying to get out of it. Let's talk about that. Chris Mannix in Dazn. Let's talk about why would Jermall Charlo want to fight with Dazn if Dazn can't make Canelo Alvarez happy? If you got Canelo Alvarez suing you, saying that you are not living up to your commitments and your obligations, why would you expect that Jermall Charlo or anybody else would be in a hurry to sign you? Because you know you are in court for a breach of contract. Anticipatory breach of contract, to be specific. So why would anybody be looking for fights over there when you got looking to sign contracts with you? When you just screwed over the biggest guy that you've ever dealt with. This guy signed a huge deal with you and you reneged. So who am I going to believe? Jermall Charlo? Who am I going to believe? Let's analyze this for a second. Hold on. Let's analyze this for a second. Who would you believe in this circumstance? He said Andre dropped the bag for a Jermall fight even before that. Exactly. That's what I was leading him into, Bumpy. Exactly. So why? Dazn, you guys have a bad reputation of not paying your bills. And, dude, you won't even make fights for Demetrius Andrade. Why are you trying? Chris, why are you running around trying to get? Why are you trying to get? Hey, hold on one second, man. I messed up. Hold on one second, man. Hold on. Yeah, I'm out here feeling depressed. I'm looking at the screen like, damn, I feel sad and lonely. I was like, shit, turn the lights on. All right, man. Sorry about that. Yeah, man. So anyway, man, Chris Mannix is just on something with that, man. And these guys are just so... I just don't understand you, man. I don't understand why the bitchness. Why the bitch-tivity, man? Why the bitch-tivity? But they paying Chris Mannix well, though. Because Chris Mannix is straight up being a mouthpiece for Eddie Hearn and Eddie Hearn in the zone. So, hey, if you can't say anything good about him, anything, if there ain't nothing else good to say about him, at least he does his job, because he definitely works for the zone. But it's the whole thing, like faking like you're a journalist when you really work for the zone. That's where I'm like, dude, that's kind of unethical, man. Like, you're telling boxing fans what you think. Now, admittedly, the only boxing fans listening to you are the trolls. I understand that much. You know what I mean? The news are like the Sports Illustrated news articles that they write. Dog, that ain't what sells them. That's not what gets the subscription or sells the magazine. Because, I think Sports Illustrated actually still gets mailed out to people's houses. One of the rare magazines that actually still get out and about. But regardless, that ain't what they ain't paying to read the boxing section. The boxing section is just in there. That just happens to be in there. So, whatever, man. They don't really care if you're ethical or not. What's going on, Bill D in the building? What's going on, man? How you feeling today? My man said, get the zone out of the States. Hey, please. And get ESPN out of boxing. I would be ecstatic. Best two things. ESPN, get out of boxing. But before you do, hire Andre Ward. Make sure Andre Ward goes over there. Because one thing I would keep about ESPN boxing are the fighters and Andre Ward. So the fighters are going to wind up going somewhere else regardless. But we don't need the network. Because if all of the fights were on Fox or Showtime, that would be perfect. Because you got a free one and you got a premium one. You got a free one and you got a premium one, and they both will do pay-per-views. What do you need this half-baked crook shit with ESPN for? ESPN doesn't focus on boxing. Showtime is a premier. As far as sports, that's what they do. That's what they does. Man, hey, somebody showing love in the super chat, man. Thank you. Ronald Burrow's in that super chat, man. He said, what happens when Errol moves up? Will Errol fight Jermall? Who will James choose to train? My personal take on that matter is this, that they will never fight. I do not believe Jermall Charlo and Jermall Charlo and Errol Spence Jr. will ever fight. I believe that once Jermall unifies 54 pounds, once he does that, I think, and Jermall gets up and unifies at 168. At 160, Jermall goes to 168. Jermall goes to 160 and Errol goes up to 154. And then I think up there at 154, I think Errol might be more selective with his fights. That's another prediction that I'm making at 154 for Errol, especially if he cleans house at 147. But if he's able to get 3 of the 4 belts at 147 or all 4 of the belts at 147, and Jermall is able to get all 4 of the belts at 154, they're going to go like this. Bop. You know what I mean? They're going to go like this. Bop. Jermall going to drop them belts, try to go get them belts out at 160. And seeing Jermall has a good chance of doing very, very well at 160, especially when Jermall moves up, because Gennadi's gone. Gennady Golovkin's not worth it. He'll beat Sergey Deverenchenko just like Jermall did, worse. Danny Jacobs is over the hill. I think Jermall beats Danny Jacobs too. I don't really see any other welterweights being. I don't see very many middleweights who can beat Jermall. Because I don't think they can beat Jermall. I damn sure don't think that and Jermall, I think, is going to be at 168 because he looks super drained and like, I don't understand how he makes these weights. But that's my take on it, man. That's my take. And then my man, Justin Hawkins, much love in that super chat. He said they purposely trying to overshadow Jermall accomplishments by trashing him and other fighters as well. It's ridiculous. Well, they lost too, Justin Hawkins. They lost. They lost. See, they are now in the phase of troll phase. See, they were high. See, when you're high and mighty, this is how it goes. See, when you're living high and you're high on the hog and all that, and you're the man, and you got $1 billion behind you, and you just signed Canelo Alvarez, and you've got this big internet, you got Anthony Joshua, the 3-belt division, the 3-belt holding heavyweight champion of the world, and the next Floyd Mayweather, and it's heading to the zone in the United States. You can be magnanimous. You can be magnanimous. You can say how you can be highbrow. But the more that bullshit falls apart, the more petty and desperate you become, because you were hanging out there on a fucking limb. Number one, everybody, well, not everybody, you remember the conversations used to take place about Dazn? When did Dazn, somebody put in the chat when it was that Dazn came to the United States. I am pretty sure it was in 2018, because Canelo is 4 fights into that deal. 4. He fights twice a year. That's 2 full years and this one, right? So we're talking 18, 19, all of 20. Now we're looking almost 3 years. Oh, not almost, because it was like July of 18, right? So it was 2 years in July. So to be fair, 2 years ago in like around July timeframe is when Dazn was talking all that shit. But then AJ and all their fans were talking all that smack. But then AJ, and thank you very much to the trolls that go around looking for my chats where I say more than 3 cuss words in them so that they can try to get my shit demonetized. Thank you, Justin Hawkins, for supporting in the super chat. I just want to let you know, there is definitely some troll running around looking for anything that could possibly be said poor or bad on a video and trying to flag it on my channel. You got 1 live stream out of, for what? I don't know how many videos we got up here. 3,000? Congrats, dog. Congrats. Y'all some irritating people. He flagged me for a Devin Haney, Bill Haney thing, man. Y'all need to stop being haters, man. Y'all need to stop being hate-wise. But it's all right, though. Thank you for the super chat, dog. Why was the fight moved to December 15th? Well, that's a great question. My belief is, I have not heard the details, but I think that the details are pretty much obvious. They want the fight in Dallas, Texas. They want to and since they want it in Dallas, Texas, they want to push it a little bit further back, and it's probably going to be for a date that works where the Cowboys aren't going to be there, right? Saturday, the week before the Cowboys, so the Cowboys aren't there the next day, whatever. And they want to make it in that. They want to have people at the fight. They want the gate. That's what they did. They did the same thing for Gervonta Davis last week. They moved it from October 7th to Halloween. October 7th to Halloween. So that they could then move it to the fight would be in San Antonio, and there'd be tickets for sales. There you go. Now, the benefits of it, though, are many-fold, I do believe. Many-fold, I do believe. Having the fight in Dallas is advantage Errol Spence Jr. Having the fight in Dallas Stadium is advantage Errol Spence Jr. for that. Because now he's fighting at home. And I also believe he's got an extra 3 weeks? An extra 3 weeks to train? Man, he doesn't have to go anywhere, and he's used to fighting there. Oh, 7 days. Sorry. No, it's pushed back further than that. 7 days for Errol. But you're talking for Gervonta. Yeah, they pushed it back for the money. For the gate. And it's good. I don't mind it because it gives me more time. Hey, man, save a couple bucks, pay for the next pay-per-view. What it do, DB Month the Track, man? I'm chilling. I am chilling, man. Much love in that super chat, too, man. Thank you, sir. We'll be in the stadium. I might be at both fights, actually. I'm thinking about going to both fights. San Antonio and Dallas, you know what that said? Texas is going to be the hub of boxing. And they're the same distance. Oh, actually, no. San Antonio's like, I could probably be to that stadium in the next, 45 minutes. Now that I think about it, I could probably be to that stadium in 45 minutes from my house. I don't even think I gotta get a hotel. I don't think I even gotta get a hotel room, although I would. But I don't know, man. It's just like how much stuff is really gonna be going on and how close are you gonna get? But if I go, I'd get a suite because I ain't gonna sit up next to y'all. I ain't sitting up next to you motherfuckers coughing now. Like if I do it, I'm gonna get a suite. So I don't know how much that's gonna cost, but I get a suite. You go with a couple of my boys, get a suite, and be like, nah, I'll be watching it up from. I'll be there, but I'll be watching it up from here, when you niggas ain't coughing on me. You know what I mean? Fucking around in these streets. My man, Dazon's promotional strategy is based on Hearn hitching a ride on PBC fighters' buzz. Started with AJ, then White, Farmer, Haney, now Andrade. I hate you. I'm trying to get out of it, Jupiter B. You are trying to suck me back in. I used to wonder, like, dude, why do I always read Jupiter B's comments? Because he's reading my mind half the damn time, man. I'm like, shit, I didn't want to say that. But yes, clout chasing is in full effect. Now, again, so is the rule that you cannot say anything bad about Bill Haney or Devin Haney in this damn chat because I'm so sick of the drama coming from you guys trying to start shit. However, I have to I see you a Biblian Bible. And I'm glad you watched that video, man. Yes, it is. And actually, Jupiter B, you have now finally stated it in a way where it is, you have laid it bare. And there's no way around it. Jupiter B has laid it bare. Hitching a ride on a PBC fighter's buzz. AJ Wilder, White, Wilder, Farmer, Davis, Haney, Russell, Haney, Davis, Demetrius Andrade, Charlo. There's somebody else in there too. Nobody at 147. Yeah, that's it. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. And but I do have to brag here, Jupiter B. If I had not told everybody in the damn chat not to bring up fucking Devin Haney, not disrespecting Devin Haney, but dog, please leave that Gary Russell Jr. Devin Haney stuff alone. But if I was not, my mind was not so set on trying to get people to leave that issue alone and just talk about the Uriocas Gamboa fight that's coming up, right? If I wasn't trying so hard to do that, I would have been said what you said. I just want to let you know I'd have been about a week ahead of you. But it is what it is. I cannot debate with what you said. Every one of those are facts that there has been. Now, whether or not, see, here's the thing, though. You get into the whole debate, right, about who is the one that's really ducking. So let's see how many times there has been pushed debates about where had to be, I hate you. It is right, you're right, you're right. Damn. Trying to get out, dog. Jupiter B just pulled me back in. You are right. Eddie Hearn does that shit. Exactly that stuff. And it's the whole argument that takes place. It's the whole argument that takes place when you're trying to defend the lie that creates the conversation. So you start with a lie. You start with a lie, and then everybody the one side tries to defend themselves against the lie, and the other groups comes in there and pushes the lie. And the guy that's, the person that sat up there and threw that shit out just sits back and watches everybody fucking scramble around trying to figure out the truth while they all keep talking about the fight. That's Eddie Hearn. It is. It is. Yeah. I try so hard not to get into it. Oh man, I gotta run. Thank you for getting me away from that whole discussion. What is that? The Avion Bible? I said salute. Had to show some love, by the way. That Bob Arum impersonation you used when talking about Teofimo Lopez, no rematch clause, was hilarious. Hey man, I thank you, man. I hit the Bob every once in a while. I'll hit it every once in a while. I do need to practice it so I can do it every time. But yeah, man, that shit was fun. Much love in that super chat, man. Whoa, what happened? Jupiter C said, man, I'm not Creole. I don't think. If you were, you'd know. That's for sure. If you were, you knew. You know. Corey Anderson says, seems like every time Charlo say Canelo, Dazn says Andre. Well, you are tipping on, sir, to a excellent point. Whenever Dazn says Gennady Golovkin, excuse me, every time Demetrius Andrade says Canelo, they tell Demetrius Andrade to shut the fuck up. Every time Demetrius Andrade says Gennady Golovkin, Eddie Hearn tells Demetrius Andrade, shut the fuck up. Right? And when Charlo says Canelo, Dazn says Andrade. You know what I mean? Just come on, man. How more obvious you can't let Canelo fight a black guy? He did fight Danny Jacobs, though. So that retort is out there. But Daniel Jacobs had already been beaten, dog. And Daniel Jacobs had already been knocked out by Pirog. Nah, I just ain't buying it, dog. Danny Jacobs ain't that. Daniel Jacobs ain't that dude. He is not dudified, in my opinion. Jermall will knock your ass sideways. He will knock you senseless. Daniel Jacobs don't hit like Jermall Charlo does. Hence, you saw all that. How his face did this against that man. Oh, okay. Yeah. Piglings. PLG Ski said December 5th, EJ fight Jerry's World. What you think? Love it. I'm starting to feel that Errol Spence Jr. is going to mop this dude, man. I think Errol Spence Jr. is about to mop this dude. Only thing that makes me hesitant is the car accident that happened a year ago. That he said he wasn't injured in. That he didn't, excuse me, he was injured, but he didn't break any bones, tear any ligaments. Nothing structurally happened to him. And I know guys that had ski-doos blown up. They flew up in the air, landed, and broke their back. And they still, after they broke their back, after a year, they were back. And they broke parts of their back off of a ski-doo getting blown up. Errol Spence Jr. didn't break his back. He got thrown up, he landed. It's not like it's something that doesn't happen. I know somebody that happened to. There are people that get lucky in car accidents. There are people that get like, woo! I saw my life flash before front of my eyes. I can't believe I made it out of there. That happens. You know what I mean? There are people that have survived helicopter crashes. Be like, one survivor. How the fuck that happened? I do not know how that happened. You know what I'm saying? How they shouldn't have survived, but they did. We got one. You know what I mean? So he survived an accident. He survived a horrific accident, but he survived it. And he didn't, and he's not. So you know, multiple things did not happen. He did not break his neck. He did not break his legs. He did not break his arms. He did not break his ribs. He didn't break his nose. He didn't break his jaw. He broke his teeth. He didn't break an orbital bone. You know what I'm saying? You understand that most of the major injuries that would come from that are something that you would know about. Like if you were thrown up 80 feet away, if you were thrown 80 feet into the air and landed on concrete and bounced, even though I don't think he was thrown 80 feet in the air, he might have been thrown like 7 feet in the air, but flown 80 feet. You know what I mean? Like you get thrown 7 feet in the air and because the car is flipping, right? So the car is not coming more than 10 feet off the ground. It ain't flipping 15 feet in the air. So it's flipping. Oh, when it flips first, it flips and throws him, right? So if it flipped like this, it threw him. So it throws him. He doesn't go really, really high. He just goes far because the car was going so fast. And he goes boom, 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 boom. Unconscious, limp body, heavily muscled, limp body, and extreme luck. Wakes up in the hospital with a little concussion and no teeth and a bunch of bruises. He can make it, and he made it out of that. B. Cherry said, out of respect, I won't bring it up. Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Or, you know what? You can bring it up, but just don't disrespect Bill Haney. Like, if you just want to, because I just don't want it. Like, that's why I don't like to interview people. Like, because I don't want to make a lot of friends. Because when somebody's your friend, you're going to be like, I don't know if I can really say it like this. I like Bill. You know what I mean? And I don't want to do that. I want to be able to say what I want to say. But in this case, there's no change in it. I know Bill. I met Bill. I got Bill's phone number. Bill has my phone number. I know him. If I walk by him in the street, he's going to say, you son of a bitch, Fannon. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm going to block that shit and get to swinging. But I'm just joking. We ain't got no beef. But for real, just hold his name. Just be respectful of his name. Eddie Hearn, you call his ass everything underneath the fuck everything under the sun. Call him the first thing and the last thing come to your mind, okay? And anything come to him, I don't care. But, not in this particular circumstance, man. You got to cut Big Bill a break, dog. Isaiah Jones said, all facts, Dazn are clout chasers of PBC. We know that. Much love in that super chat, man. And I know I see my man Curtis Anderson. What's going on, man? He said, the real Marlo TV say, I'm going to be in the building for sure. Well, look, man, if y'all going to be in the building, I'm going to be in the building. Y'all just make sure y'all come see me in the building. Because if there's a chance, if it's something shit that I can afford, I'm going to be in a fucking box. I'm just going to be telling y'all come see me in a box. Because don't they got boxes? Don't they got boxes at Cowboy Stadium? They got boxes at the Alamo. What's it? At the Alamo Dome? Don't they got boxes at the Alamo Dome? So you ain't got to be sitting all up underneath somebody, bumping shit, all of that, or even just sitting in my uncomfortable ass chairs. I'll watch that shit on the big screen. Boop, right there. Drinking merry. Drinking well. You know what I'm saying? Drinking well. Do. Curtis Anderson, what's good? He said, I want to wish Scrapbook Boxing a happy birthday, man. Happy birthday to Scrapbook Boxing. And extremely happy did I hear that you are doing better, because that is nothing but a blessing when Scrapbook Boxing is doing better, because now he gets to get back to work now, dog. You feeling better, Scrapbook? Chop, chop, man. Chop, chop. I need some more history. All right. I ain't been seeing him coming, so I need to check. I need to stop in and check you out, man. Hope you're feeling better, but get back to work, man. Ain't that a bitch? Well, we just be like, get back to work now. What is this? Dustin J. Let's talk about Dustin's comment. Danny went to a split decision with Thurman in his prime. They're all in their prime. They ain't out their prime. And Porter outworked Danny. He did. But the guy was hitting a lot of arms and gloves. He did. Errol didn't look like a world beater we thought last fight. You got to give me some type of coherent thing here. Danny went to a split decision with Thurman in his prime. And Porter outworked Danny, but the guy was hitting. Oh, you're trying to say that. Stop. Errol Spence Jr. fought Shawn Porter in his last fight. In the beginning portion of your fight, of your thing, you're missing something in what you're saying. That Porter beat Danny Garcia. He outworked him, but it was hitting a lot of arms and gloves. Why can't Errol outwork him? Errol's a busier fighter than Shawn Porter is. Errol has a much higher work rate than Shawn Porter does. So if he's going to get outworked, by Shawn Porter, what you think is going to happen with Errol Spence? Errol Spence throws twice the punches, and he's always in your chest. I'm telling you, if the boy ain't hurt, Danny's going to get hurt. Okay? If he ain't slow on the draw, and here's the thing too, why didn't Errol look good in his last couple fights? And I'm answering your question with respect. You know what I mean? But why didn't he look good in his last couple fights? He fought Shawn Porter and Mikey Garcia. Those are extremely high-level fighters, but he looked extremely good against Danny Garcia because he won every round and beat him so bad in one round, ref gave him 10-8. And because all Mikey Garcia did was this. Shawn Porter lost that fight to Errol Spence. Shawn Porter didn't outwork Errol Spence. He outworked Danny Garcia, but he didn't outwork Errol Spence. Look, man, Danny Garcia is a very good fighter, and Danny Garcia has a puncher's chance. Yes, he does. Danny Garcia has a chance to hit Errol with something if Errol gets sloppy. But the way that Jermall looked against Rosario, I don't think that's going to happen. Because that camp is on point. Which brings me to my next point. Shawn Porter, what are you talking about? Derek James is trainer of the year. If Errol Spence beats Danny Garcia, how in the world is anybody but Derek James the trainer of the year? Let me repeat this for people. If Errol Spence Jr. beats Danny Garcia, it is not possible to vote for somebody other than Derek James for fighter of 2020. Who else has done that? He just picked up 3 major championship belts and the ring title. Right? I ain't big on the ring title, but all them fucking blowhards are. So there you go. He's got the ring title. He's got all 4. He's got 3 of the major championship belts. Hold on, man. What the fuck am I doing? Hold on one second. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, he's got 4 of the major championship belts, or 3 of the major championship belts, and Errol Spence Jr.'s got 2 of them, right? So he's got 5 belts, 5 belts in 2 weight divisions, with the only 2 fighters he's training, and not only that, one is a southpaw and one is an orthodox. And not only that, one he built from the ground and one he got from another trainer and made better. How the hell is he not trainer of the year with that? You can say Eddie Reynoso, well, look at what Derek James did with Jermall Charlo, but Jermall Charlo came from Ronnie Shields. He didn't make him. Well, he made Errol Spence. He built Errol Spence. Errol Spence is the top 5 pound for pound guy on everybody's list. He made him from the scratch. And then he had a car accident Now, that's what I'm saying. If he wins the fight, Errol Spence would have had a car accident, a major car accident. And in the first fight back, Derrick James, because we're talking about what Derrick James did, would have trained him back, given him a game plan to beat, coming off of that type of wreck, a former welterweight champion and a former unified 140-pound champion, and for sure, in my opinion, a Hall of Fame fighter. That coming off of a 15, 16, 18, whatever, flip Ferrari accident. The same year that he gets Jermall Charlo 3 belts in just an incredible fight. Incredibly, I mean, as far as like the craft and the game plan, if you listen to what Derrick James said about Jason Rosario, you could say he's like, man, I respect this guy. I respect this guy. He's doing this. He's doing that. He can do this. He can do that. He's and they just had this guy break all that shit down and stop him, twitching and shit with body shots. Come on, man. But anyway, so you could say, all right, well, maybe it's that's what he did. So can you find somebody that did more? Shawn. See, that's when Shawn was like, well, it's just not him. What do you mean it's just not him? If it's just not him, who is it? It's just not him. Who is it then? Freddie Roach? No. What did Freddie Roach do this year? Is it Canelo's trainer, Eddie Reynosa? No. Canelo hasn't even fought this year. And if he does, it's going to be against Yeldemir. So, no. Is it Abel Sanchez? Where the hell has he been? No. As a matter of fact, can't be Abel Sanchez. He led Cecilia Brækhus. He lost all four of Cecilia Brækhus' belts. So how in the world can it be anybody other than Derrick James? The answer, my friends, is it cannot be. If Errol Spence Jr. beats Danny Garcia. And that's it. Now, if this happens, I'm telling you, this is what I'm going to do. If Errol Spence, and I see you, Nuke Juice. Man, Paul Carrick in the building said, peace to the LWC and my Bison brother, man. Thank you so much, Paul, for your support, man. What's a lie? What's a lie, Ohio Runs Boxing? What's a lie? I ain't told. Oh, yes, he does. Yes, he does throw more than important. Errol Spence Jr. punch output. CompuBox. Let's look at the CompuBox stats for Errol Spence Jr. versus let's see if you're right, because I haven't looked at it. I could be wrong. There's a chance. But no, I'm not wrong, because he outworked Shawn Porter in their fight. Total punches. He landed 1,000. What is 745 plus 735 plus 329 is what? 1,064? I think that's 1,064. 1,064 versus 930 when they fought. So what are you talking about? I'm lying. He outpunched him he outworked him when he fought him by 10%. Now, the reason why Shawn Porter might land more punches in fights total is because the shit go the distance and Errol Spence Jr. be laying motherfuckers out. You know what I'm saying? But no, Errol Spence Jr.'s work rate is easily as high as Shawn Porter's. Higher than Shawn Porter's. No way. How many punches did he throw He damn near threw 1,000 punches. It was like he's throwing 1,000 punches around against Mikey Garcia. Let me see. Errol Spence. Mikey Garcia. Punch output. I don't like CompuBox. Let's see what he did against this dude. Total punches. He averaged 27. Let me see. He average around thrown 64 punches around. He's throwing 64, 70 punches around. And that was fighting outside. Dude, if he cranks down, he could easily get to 100. And easily, Errol Spence could easily throw 100 punches in a round. Now, Ohio runs boxing. I know you like your boy Shawn, but your boy got outworked, man. He got outworked. Them Texas boy put them work in, dog. He grabbed that pail on Shawn. Don't act like he didn't. He made Shawn fight every second of every round. Nah, man. Nah. I don't buy that. Gregory X said Blu-ray is back. That's what's up. I hear conflicting reports about that. I would love if he was, but I hear conflicting reports about that. How did I miss my man Daniel Staley? Salute for 9. It sounds like Porter is hating because his father did not get Trainer of the Year. Respect your thoughts. LDBC, yes, sir. Oh, no. There's something else to it, though. There's more to it than that, Daniel Staley. No, there's shit up hate from Shawn on that one. And justifiable. Dude, he ain't going to give Derrick James no credit. Derrick James just beat him. And on top of it, number one, Derrick James just beat him in this fight before last. Number two, Derrick James told him he was going to beat him and blamed it on his daddy. Was like, look, man, I don't know what to say, man, but Shawn Porter got his daddy talking for him, and he looked like a grown-ass man to me. And maybe, if he would like lead it, be his own leader, he would be a better fighter. He just came with some old stay out of people's family business type of shit. When he said it, I was like, damn, you're really not supposed to get into people's family relationships, man. Like, that's his daddy, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to keep it like, I try to keep it that way. You know what I mean? Because when you mess with my children, shit gets hot. I'm just telling you, like, for real. None of you niggas not none of you. You know what I'm saying? Not near one of you gonna mess with my kids. So, nah, dog. When you said that those dudes love each other, man. Like, Shawn loves his dad. And there ain't nothing wrong with loving his dad. His dad's a good dude. You know what I mean? His dad's a good trainer. Got him paid. Obviously knows the sport. But regardless, it looked like Kenny and Derrick were about to come to blows. Like, it was that heated. Like, there's like some video of them dudes standing like nah, man. Somebody grabbed somebody else's hand. I can't remember who it was, but it was like somebody grabbed Derrick James I think somebody grabbed Shawn Porter by the arm and said, come on. Like, walked him that way. And then Derrick James came with him, but there was a straight up altercation with that. So nah, dog, there's something behind that, dog. There's some nah, dog. I ain't giving you no fucking credit behind that. And why would you? I'm telling you, dog, I'd do the same thing. You talk bad about my daddy, dog, seriously, I don't give a shit, dog. For real, I ain't giving you shit. Like, you could have won. I don't care. You could have not. Muhammad Ali could have magically appeared in the middle of the boxing ring, and you could have whooped his ass, and you could have trained. You could have trained Emmanuel Lewis or somebody to beat Mike Tyson. You ain't gonna get no credit if you talk bad about my daddy, man. You talk bad about somebody's daddy, nah. Unless your dad, even if they talk bad about their daddy, you can't talk bad about their dad. So nah, man, just don't talk bad about that man's daddy. Woo-wee. What is that? Philly runs boxing. Jerron Ennis, baby. Is that who you talking about? You better not be talking about Danny Garcia, dog, because Danny Garcia is the man. Hey, I like Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia is a dude I would like to go to Philadelphia. I would hang out with Angel Garcia. I like Angel Garcia, man. I like Danny Garcia, dog, but for real, you need to get that Jerron Ennis thing going, man. You need to bank on Jerron Ennis. You need to tell when this shit's over. This is what you do, B. Harris. When this shit's over, you make sure Jerron Ennis is in Dallas and immediately jumps past security, knocks people over, jumps his ass into the ring, and slaps Errol Spence Jr. in his mouth. That way, it could be about Ennis and Errol. Then you may, in about 2 years, have some shit to talk about. Because Jerron Ennis right now might whoop Danny Garcia. Who you got on that, B. Harris? But don't tell me Philly runs boxing when Texas is knocking Philly out. You know what I'm saying? Texas is knocking Philly dudes out like on the regular, ain't they? Like, or how many Philly dudes did Jermall Charlo knock out? Oh, that's J-Rock. J-Rock got his ass knocked out by Texas, and he got his ass knocked out by the Dominican Republic. Come on, man. You cannot let an island full of baseball players whoop your ass in Philadelphia, man. Where was the fight, too? I got to see where that fight was. Where was the fight? Hold on. We got to see where this fight was. Hold on a second. Julian Williams, professional boxer. Last fight was in Philadelphia. Hey, man, how you running boxing when J-Rock got knocked out by a baseball player in your hometown and took the straps? No, man. No. Philly don't run boxing. Texas runs boxing. Let's just be real about it. Right now, Texas runs boxing. Texas runs boxing. It's where all the pay-per-view fights are popping off. Gervonta got to come to Texas to get his pay-per-view popping. Got to come to Texas. Got to go to the Alamo Dome because Texas don't give a damn. Saying, bring your Rona. We don't care. Just bring your money. You know what I mean? Texas is running it, man. Florida got knocked off. Thurman done got knocked off by the Philippines. You know what I mean? Roy Jones, you know, who does Florida got? Lubin. Oh, I forgot. They got knocked out by Texas. I think the Charlos have damn near knocked out somebody from everywhere. Ain't that right? We're all seriously, for real. They run it. Just so you know. They run it. And I consider myself Chicago. Even though I live here, I'm just telling you flat out, nobody's messing with Texas. Texas is beating the Ukraine. Texas is smashing the Ukraine by their damn self. Texas is damn near beating the UK by their damn self. They're damn near beating the UK by themselves. They got 5 belts. They got 5 belts. The UK, but then again, the UK got 3, AJ. But they matched AJ. Jermall matched AJ. Mexico is ducking them. Omaha, Nebraska don't want no smoke. Omaha, Nebraska don't want smoke with no Texas. Do they drink more water? Do they? Now, for real though, that's how I am thinking about boxing now, dude, in the America. Because dog, seriously, American boxing is the shit, dog. Well, there you go, folks. For non-federal facts. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Hey, man, Blue Red said on Blue Blood he is. I heard he said he's not on Blue Bloods. Then I hear he is. I don't know. Should be going all over the place. Oh, there you go. You said he haven't talked to him. There you go. All right, that's what I thought. All right, good. I didn't hear the show, but that's what I thought. Steve J in the building said, Fannon, I asked Blue himself in the super chat on Blue Blood. He said he isn't working with him yet. He also says sometimes they work the last few weeks. Okay, so he might work with them over the last few weeks. That's great news. That's absolutely outstanding news. Outstanding news. Blu-ray seems like a really good dude, man, and he might be able to help me. I wish I could afford and keep him from getting fat. Al Heyman from Ohio, we always run. And Don King, baby. And Don King, baby. And Don King, baby. You're right. You're right. Oh, Ohio runs better. You're right. Y'all run it. Y'all do run it now. All right, there you go. There you go. All right. In 50-50 partnership with Texas and Detroit, though. With 50-50 partners with the Texas, I always say, you know what? I got so little respect for the state of Michigan that I call the whole damn thing Detroit. People are like, it's Lansing. I'm like, man, I don't care. It's Flynn, it's Lansing, whatever. That's how, because I'm from Chicago, dog. I disregard all Midwest cities. They are all beneath us. Even though we are heading quickly the same way, dog. We heading the same way. Oh man. Yeah, Ohio runs boxing. You ain't lying, dog. Hey, man, let me see some of these things. He said he knocked him down and he still won a close fight. Yeah, that's true. Ohio runs boxing. He's a dude. Hey, man, and Nuke Juice says, smash that like button, man. Much love in that super chat, man. Thank you. I'm sorry that I missed those super chats, and I like the red because if you're gonna do under $5, the $3.99 is a value. It keeps it up there forever, and it's blooded red. I'm a noob. I like those. For 9, I'm 6 pounds away from 175 to compete at 160. Wish me luck, man. Much luck to you, man, and a gong for it, man. That's what's up. Knock their ass down. Knock their ass out. Look at some of them Tyson Fury gloves. Long on the left, short on the right. Unless you're a southpaw. Long on the right, short on the left. You got to chill on Michigan. Let me tell you, man, about Michigan. Fuck them. I don't like your Wolverines. I don't like your Lions. I don't like nothing about the state that competes with my Chicago all the time in every major sport, okay? I don't like that your little raggedy ass Barry Sanders is better than Walter Payton. Didn't like it, okay? Didn't like that your raggedy ass Piston teams was whooping up on the Bulls. We only got to beat you once, okay? Do not test my dislike for the city of Detroit from a sports perspective. Can't stand it, except for the great Isaiah Thomas, who is from Chicago. Thank you very much. Don't you? I ain't got to like Michigan. I'm from Illinois. I do not have to like Michigan. I have to compete with it and deal with y'all on a regular basis. And you stole an NCAA championship from the Fighting Illini because you know y'all weren't as good as us, but you got lucky with that fucking Glenn Rice just went off. One game. We whooped y'all all the time in one game, damn it. One game. Glenn Rice ass decides I'm just going to hit every fucking thing. I'm pissed off at it. 40 years, what was it? 30 years later, I'm still pissed off about it. Don't be trying to tell me I got to chill on Detroit. I refuse to say the name. I'm so disgusted by you guys. Come on. You stole Walter Payton from me because a dude from Wichita, Kansas, who went to Oklahoma, went to your team. And now I'm sitting there watching you like, damn, this dude is better than Walter Payton. And I hated it. And then you didn't even know how to treat him right. Then he retired early because Detroit didn't even know how to treat. Man, stop. Couldn't get Isaiah Thomas on the dream team. Get you 2 championships and y'all can't get him on the dream team. Scrubs. I don't care about the Fab Five. They didn't play for the Bulls. Anyway, Bubby Thompson says Errol is going to F all these ass doctors up when he sees Danny Swift Garcia. I'm screenshotting everybody. Look, man, here's the thing on this, dude. Y'all better hope. Y'all are wishing. This is for you, Michigan. So this is for you Michigan people right there. Okay? Right there. We're so bad I got ran to Kansas. Okay? We're so bad I had to run to Kansas to have a basketball team that I could talk shit about. And I don't even really rock with them like that. But everybody else does. They're good. I'll do it. I'll bandwagon them. That's what I'm going to do. I'll bandwagon them, dog. Johnny Boy 06, FYI, you been smoking for 9. You hype today? No. I'm hype every day, man. Life is good, dude. We got almost 600 people in the chat talking boxing, man. At 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Why wouldn't I be happy, man? I got a boxing channel and I'm ecstatic about it. It's great. Yes, sir. Walter Payton is from Mississippi. He went to Jackson State. As a matter of fact, hold on one second. This shit's getting hot. He had to take that off because it was getting hot. All right, man, but let's get back on boxing. All right, much better. But I'm still in my Kansas blue. Look, man, I don't like Michigan, but I'm not going to talk all day about Michigan. We're going to move on from Michigan. It's not something that you need to spend a lot of time on. Unless you're talking about great boxing greats like boxing. And that's another thing. You destroy us in boxing. So why would I like you? They're not from Chicago. They're from Michigan. You know what I mean? They're all from Michigan. Mayweather's from Michigan. James Toney from Michigan. Clarissa Shields from Michigan. Crunk Jims from Michigan. Tommy Hearns from Michigan. Michigan. Well, a fake who and a fake what? Who are those dudes? Who's best of the best and who the fuck is Johnny Boy? For somebody to be faking, who the hell is that? Who told you that? Hey, speak for yourself, Renee Box Young. Hey, man, speak for yourself. No, I'm a boxing fan. What? Anyway, yep. Best boxer from Chicago? I don't know. I'd have to think about that. Not a lot, and it's been a long time, for sure. Montel Griffith, as of late. Montel Griffith and Oliver McCall. Ain't Oliver McCall from the Shy? But anyway, it is what it. Oh, they're LDBC haters. That means there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. But look, man, let's get back on this. Let's get back on Errol Spence and Danny Garcia, man. There ain't no way. Well, dude, if you guys hanging your hat on hold on one more second. I know I just really messed up today. All right, there you go. Just out of sorts today. Sorry about that. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, somebody that got bodied. Mr. Shelton said they are LDBC haters and complete weirdos. They just made their days saying their names. Oh, they're here? You think they're here? Of course some hoes are here, man. They love me, man. Man, are you kidding me? They show up every time I hit the internet. They love me. It's just what it is, dog. It's okay. You know what I mean? It's all right. You think Trinidad could have given these dudes in 147 54 problems? Of course he could have. He's a great fighter, but he could have had some trouble with them too. You know, styles make fighters, different fights. I don't think that he kind of, you know what, Tito kind of reminds me of Danny Garcia a little bit. Kind of reminds me of a more aggressive Danny Garcia, but kind of reminds me of Danny Garcia a little bit. But yeah, I think he'd do fine. I think he'd beat pretty much everybody. I think he has a chance to beat anybody that's a welterweight right now. I don't think there's anybody that really at 147. See, except for somebody that maybe has a tremendous footwork. Like Errol could beat him from the outside. I think Errol would beat Trinidad from the outside. I think he could outbox Trinidad. Because when you look at Trinidad and when Trinidad, like the Oscar De La Hoya fight, Trinidad really did have a lot of problems with the movement of Oscar De La Hoya. Now, not saying that Oscar De La Hoya is just some slouch and Errol Spence Jr. can do any and everything that Oscar De La Hoya can do, right? I'm not saying that's the case. I'm not saying it's not, but I'm just saying that he showed, Felix Trinidad showed vulnerability to movement when he fought Oscar De La Hoya, and I don't think that would be the case. Like Errol Spence Jr. would do that, but he would also be pushing on the gas on Trinidad. So honestly, man, I think that he could but I think Errol Spence Jr. beats Trinidad. I think Keith Thurman will get knocked out. I think it'll be a tough fight for Shawn Porter, but I think Shawn Porter has a chance. It'll be a good fight. Terrence Crawford and him would be a great fight. Great fight. Great fight. Like Terrence Crawford and Felix Trinidad is damn near like a dream fight. Because Tito gonna be pressing him, and Terrence Crawford is going to be pot shotting him. But man, do not let him, Terrence Crawford, get caught with Terrence Crawford like he got caught with green beans. That is some other shit, dude. I rocks with the Shy, though. I see somebody is like talking about the Shy. Yeah, I rock with the Shy. Like all the time. Dude, I ain't lived in the Shy in years. And it's still just like, dude, I'm like, if it wasn't for the price of a terrible weather, price of living, man, I want to go back to Chicago. Like all my people are in Chicago, man. Raider Time says, salute, man. Salute to you, man. Thank you so much for the support, man. And my man, Keith Sims said, salute from the Shy as always. About to roll one for you and the chat. And make sure, dog, that when you do it, when you do it, don't over dry it, dog. Don't over dry it. And try to get the natural hemp ones. Man, I can't believe you guys think I'm a nerd like that, dog. I don't smoke marijuana. I smoke CBD because of my knees. They hurt. But when I retire, man, please. I would in a heartbeat. Don't care. I don't begrudge anybody doing what they do. I don't that. Now, if you out here doing what Tyson Fury's doing, all that, man, dude, you fucking bugging. Like that shit, you're bugging. That all that other stuff, people that super harmful shit. But dog, that shit is not as hard as drinking. Like, how can I sit up here and knock back a scotch and complain to you by doing some shit less harmful? Nah, dog. You know what I mean? Anyway, Ennis versus Spence. Who you got? Ennis versus Crawford. Ennis versus Spence. Ennis versus Crawford. I'm not about to disrespect Crawford or Spence and say that some dude that ain't beat nobody yet, who ain't mopped nobody yet, because he's gonna. You know what I'm saying? Let me get that right. When I say Ennis ain't beat nobody yet, I mean yet as in it is inevitable that he will be doing that. Okay, like I ain't saying like that's kind of like saying, when that crack addict comes to get when that crack addict tries to buy some more, that's when, you know what I'm saying? Yet he ain't bought it yet. The crack addict ain't went out yet. They're gonna go out though. Same thing with Jerron Ennis. He is gonna beat them dudes. He's gonna beat Keith Thurman. If Keith Thurman comes anywhere near him. He's gonna beat Danny Garcia if Danny Garcia comes anywhere near him. The only people that got a shot to beat him, Errol Spence and really Errol Spence. Because I don't know about Crawford and him, man. Like I don't know. Like I want to say I don't know. I want to say, oh yeah, Crawford easy, but dog, that dude's 5'11". That dude's 5'11" and looked like he's walking around at about $160. But he looked like he walking around about $160 lean. He looked like, lean. And them hands is heavy. And them hands are heavy. And them hands are fast and educated. So eventually, yeah. That's the best one. I mean, of the guys that are not currently champions, that's the guy at 147. Forget what you hear about Virgil Ortiz. Man, Virgil Ortiz can't, man, please. Okay, get out of here, man. He will fucking mop Virgil Ortiz. And like and seriously, man, like I'm in Texas, right? And people rock with Virgil Ortiz, man, but no. Dude, Virgil Ortiz is a good fighter. Dude, Virgil Ortiz, if he fights Jerron Ennis like he fought his other fights, he's going to get knocked out. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't even believe he hits harder than Jerron Ennis. I think that's, and dude, quite honestly, man, Jerron Ennis versus Virgil Ortiz at a point might be a mismatch. If you're going to make the fight, make it quick. You're going to make the fight, make it quick. Because that's just not going to go well for you, homie. It's just not going to go. Viking, that's a flat, because he's flat-footed. He's flat-footed, pretty much flat-footed come-forward fighter. Against Jerron Ennis? No. I'm saying, you going to come forward throwing bombs at Jerron Ennis? The dude that just did this? The dude that just got, what's that dude? Abreu? And Abreu's not a bad fighter who took that shot that was, dude, there was a whole spot available up the side of the head of Jerron Ennis. He showed Abreu the side of his head like this. And then when he threw the punch, just popped his shoulder up. just popped his shoulder up to catch the punch. Not with his hand, with his shoulder. Popped it up. The ball, the shit goes over the top of his head. And while the guy is extended, after he bumps it, boom. Oh, Lord have mercy, dog. Oh, Lord have mercy. Stay away. Stay away. That is going to land on you, dude. You are going to overextend yourself off that shit that you, dude. Jerron Ennis, give me 1 second before I'm going to go back to Jerron Ennis. Viking or Boxing Enterprise said, what is the perception of Keith Thurman right now? How much stock faith is put in a hypothetical focused version of him if he emulates the traits of Thurman of old? Does his image and skills seem foreseeably repairable? Let's go through this one thing at a time. My perception of Keith Thurman right now is that he is a contender to the sport. That he is earnestly trying to get back into the mix and prove that he has a champion, that he can win a championship shot. How much stock and faith is put in a hypothetically focused version of him? Let's start on the first half of that sentence. How much stock and faith is who putting in that? You got to ask me that who? Who are you asking me about, right? If you're talking about generally speaking, I'll have to do generally speaking. How much stock is in the general consensus of people is put on what you hope. What he means by hypothetically focused version of him, like if he's going to be focused, will he emulates of the traits of Thurman of old? What you mean before he had all his injuries? He's never going to be the same fighter he was before he had all those injuries because he's had all those injuries and he's older. But that doesn't mean that somebody of the talent level of Keith Thurman cannot make adjustments and fight in a way to adjust for those things or to account for those things. But I think it should be very high because Manny Pacquiao beat Keith Thurman, but he didn't beat him badly. And quite honestly, Keith Thurman put a good bit of a shellacking on Manny Pacquiao in that fight, landing straight right after straight right after straight right. It just happened to be that Manny Pacquiao scored more often and that he was really being very energetic and the fight looked better from him and he hurt him so nasty with that body shot. But I think the susceptibility to the body shot probably will never go away, but it can be improved upon. His injuries, if it is a matter of rest, those definitely can be healed. And for the most part, dude, he's not taking any punishment over the last 2 years. So his body should be somewhat fresh when it comes to like taking contact. But at the same time, he hasn't taken a lot of contact. And that could have led to why he had the difficulty with Josecito Lopez and difficulty with Manny Pacquiao. I think it is completely reasonable to suspect. It's reasonable to suspect that if Keith Thurman had 2 fights, a Josecito Lopez fight a training camp for Josecito Lopez, and then a training camp for somebody, say Brian Castano moved up, right? Or better yet, he fought a southpaw. He fought a southpaw, right? A competent southpaw, right? And he took that fight. Then he fought Manny Pacquiao. If that was the case, I think he has a better chance of winning that fight. In fact, I have a suspicion that if Manny Pacquiao and Keith Thurman fought at a rematch after Keith Thurman had a fight or two, I think Keith Thurman would beat Manny Pacquiao. I just don't think he had enough. I think Manny Pacquiao was smart in that he made that fight with Keith Thurman quick enough where Keith Thurman didn't have the ability to recover from a 2-year layoff. And I don't see why anybody should say why that should be any different than what people said for Tyson Fury. That it was, Tyson Fury had 2 fights before he fought Deontay Wilder and got the draw. And people were like, oh man, he wasn't all the way back. He wasn't all the way back. But he had 2 fights. Keith Thurman only had 1 fight before he got to Manny Pacquiao. You know what I mean? So, and Manny Pacquiao is not an easy fight because he's fresh. Because he's just a talented fighter with a lot of know-how. And it's going to be very difficult to beat him on the cards no matter what you do. But that's my take on that, Viking. Good question. Thank you. Sam Henry said, why don't the middleweight divisions get the pay-per-view fighters compared to welterweights? Always been my favorite combo, power and speed, and the fighters are actually normal height. Well, actually, dude, it's a little off. Middleweights are typically bigger than your average human, than your average person. Middleweights can usually are 5'10", 5'11", can be up to 6 feet. Like Bernard Hopkins is 6 feet. Jermall Charlo is about 6 feet. Right? Those that's tall, actually. 147, like a 5'9", 5'10", 160 pounds, 65 pound man. That's an average size man. I think middleweight is actually for a human being a little bit on the big side. And of course, light, all that other stuff, whenever you see people walking around at, 180 and above, because a middleweight can walk around about 200 pounds, 190, if they weren't doing anything. Jermall Charlo might natural weight, if he wasn't doing all that, might be around 190 pounds, man. 185, 190 pounds. That's a big guy, man. That's a big guy. So, but anyway, but the reason is just because those are the money divisions. Welterweight division, heavyweight division, then middleweight division, then lightweight division. I couldn't explain why welterweight is more important than middleweight, like why it's always been bigger than middleweight, but it has been. It's just, I think welterweights are the perfect combination because it's right in the middle of all the weight classes. You got the 200 pound and above, which is heavyweight. Then you got the 105, right? Right in the middle of that is like 147. And then again, remember it was 154. So a lot of the guys that are 154 now would be at 140, would have been at 147 or at 160. So there's also a lot of history in the original 8 weight class or 7 weight classes. Is it original 8 or original 7? Forget. Flyweight, bantamweight, featherweight, lightweight, welterweight, middleweight, light heavyweight, heavyweight. Yeah, those are all the original 8 weight classes. Yeah, man, some of these dudes bigger than me, man. Man, this shit keep moving no matter what I do. Sorry, man. Johnny Boy said, what do you think of Pacquiao? Why do you think Pacquiao would rather fight McGregor rather than fight Spence or Crawford? More money or ducking? Both. 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 Manny Pacquiao versus Errol Spence Jr. might do 1 million pay-per-views. I think that'll do 1 million. I think Manny Pacquiao, Errol Spence might do 1 million, might do 1 million too. Big. It's a big fight. But Conor McGregor, Manny Pacquiao could do 2. It could do 2. It's not a boxing match, but it could do 2 million pay-per-view buys. but not boxing pay-per-view buys, not, but just crossover people. They buy that fight, Manny Pacquiao, Conor McGregor. So it's money there and it's ducking. Because truth be told, it might not sell like that with Conor McGregor. You don't know because it's a rerun. But he's definitely a lot safer than fighting Errol, Spence Jr. or Crawford or Porter. Because I don't think he's going to beat Porter right now. I think Manny Pacquiao loses to Shawn Porter. And I think he has a very hard time with Yordenis Ugas too. I'm telling you, I think he fought Adrian. Man, dude, come on. He fought Adrian Brawner. I'm not saying you're saying this, but Manny Pacquiao fought Adrian. His last fights have been Jeff Horn, Lucas Matisse, Adrian Brawner, and Keith Thurman coming off of a 2-year layoff and getting damn near stopped by Josecito Lopez in his comeback fight. Dude, that is not no Errol Spence Jr., Shawn Porter. Let me go to Errol Spence Jr. first, or Shawn Porter first, Ugas first, then Errol Spence Jr. next, then go get Keith Thurman. No, he didn't do that, dog. He played it smart. Manny Pacquiao ain't back for real, man. That was his last risky fight, dog. 42 years old, getting the belt off of Keith Thurman and the beat up and how bad he got beat up in that fight. But again, for people that don't know, you can win a fight and still get beat up. Go look at like Gervonta Davis' face sometimes after a fight where he mopped a guy. And because he's melanin challenged like some black people are. This shit's red, this shit's purple. He got beat up. He looked like he got beat up. Wonder why? Because he got punched in the face a bunch of times. And that's from a guy that he dominated. And he still got beat up. So Manny Pacquiao was getting beat up by Keith Thurman. Them straight right hands were ugly. I was honestly, man, that proved to me the right hands of Keith Thurman were further proof that the shots that hurt you most are the ones that you don't see. Because Manny Pacquiao saw that punch coming and could not move and took it. Let me repeat what I said. Manny Pacquiao saw those straight right hands coming, saw the straight right coming, and could not get out of the way of it in the second half of the fight. When he was fighting Mayweather and Mayweather was shooting straight right hands, dude, Mayweather was not hitting Manny Pacquiao with nowhere near as many straight right hands as Keith Thurman was hitting him with. The only difference is that Manny Pacquiao was hitting Keith Thurman with a bunch of shit, so he was running around. But Mayweather, when he was shooting them straight right hands, right, like a la Juan Manuel Marquez, dude, Manny Pacquiao was either, I can't remember how he was doing it. I do believe though he was either slipping underneath it. I do believe that's what he was doing. He was slipping underneath it. He would slip underneath it. But whatever it wasn't landing consistently for Mayweather. But it did keep Manny Pacquiao at bay looking for it. But when Floyd threw it, Manny Pacquiao could react to it. Keith Thurman in the second half of the fight, look at Manny Pacquiao, dude. He is not reacting to those straight right hands. They are going straight at his face, and he is catching them shit straight on the nose. But because he could see them, he took the punches. And Keith Thurman wasn't sitting down on him. He was more like, he was trying to get out of there before Manny. He didn't want to get countered by Manny. So he didn't really sit down on the right hands like he could have sat down on the right hands. Terrence Crawford gonna sit down on that right hand. Yak. You know what I mean? And he's got the footwork and all that. Nah, I don't believe Manny Pacquiao right now, dog. So I do believe that, and by the way, that was almost a year ago that he beat Keith Thurman. And he's not gonna fight all this year. So now you're going to be bringing back a 42, 43-year-old Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao is going to fight Conor McGregor for the money and to duck. But it could be an understandable duck because, dude, he can't beat either one of those guys. It's going to end badly. Like, badly for Manny Pacquiao if he doesn't get out. Now, I know you Manny Pacquiao fans that love Manny Pacquiao and think, hey, Nothing Manny Pacquiao could ever do is wrong. He can fight till he's 50, 90 years. Remember, first of all, Manny Pacquiao relies on his athleticism to beat people. He is not Bernard Hopkins. He's not standing in the pocket. He's not standing in the pocket, catching punches, slipping punches by inches, trying to get close, grabbing, holding, mauling. He's not that type of fighter. He's quick in and out. Boop, 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 boop. Bop, 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 bop. Change angle. Bop, 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 bop. He's 43. He's going to get hurt. If he fights somebody like Jaron Ennis, he's going to get hurt. And it's going to be on TV, and it's going to be bad. So, for real, Manny Pacquiao, I hope Manny Pacquiao does duck. And I hope he does go and fight Conor McGregor. But give up the belt. Because as long as you have the belt, you got to fight, man. But see, that's what the WBC wants to do. They want a lot of, well, we don't ever want these champions to ever leave. But we can't let these champions leave. Then where'd the money go? We'd have to find other people. How would we make more money if these champions ever leave? So we'll just give them a franchise belt so they can hang on to it and not ever have to fight anybody that they don't want to. Man, please, Manny Pacquiao, if Manny Pacquiao, only reason Manny Pacquiao, now watch this shit. Y'all ain't gonna like this. But who is Manny Pacquiao fighting next? Who is Manny Pacquiao fighting next? Mikey Garcia. See, that's the other portion that it is duck. Because he's supposed to be fighting Mikey Garcia next. Mikey Garcia is not even a welterweight. And he lost to Errol Spence. Keith Thurman coming off a 2-year layoff and almost got knocked out by almost got stopped by Josecito Lopez. Come on, man. Come on, man. You're going to fight Mikey? You're going to fight the loser? For what kind of belt? Anybody want to gamble what belt is going to be on the line if Mikey Garcia fights Manny Pacquiao? It's for the WBA Super. But would anybody like to bet what belt will definitely be on the line for Manny Pacquiao? Ooh-wee, dog. And Mikey Garcia, you know that WBC is going to be on that line, don't you? You know they're going to name him exactly for Mikey. You know the WBC going to find a way to give Manny Pacquiao a belt. They're going to work hard and try to get inventive. I wouldn't be surprised if the WBC, tell me if this would surprise you, if the WBC would do this. I think that they would do this. If Manny Pacquiao beat Mikey Garcia is a former WBC 135-pound champion. I bet you they give Manny Pacquiao the WBC franchise title for beating Mikey Garcia. I wouldn't be surprised at all. That's how desperate the WBC is, though. What's going on, man? Narco Champion TV El Bruto, man. I ain't seen you in a hot second, man. What's good? All right, man. What's going on, Tony Graza? Laredo, Texas. That's what's up, man. Thank you. Shall do it. Shall do it. You guys got to give up them belts, dog. If you're not going to fight, you got to give up them belts. Got to give them up. 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 But that's it, Johnny Boy 06, FYI. I think that's it. 35 or 47 for what? Oh, for 147. 140. Oh, the franchise battle is on the line for Canelo, out for Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez. Dude, the WBC changed the rule about the franchise champion about 4 times in a year. Like they ain't even slick about it. You knew what you was trying to do. Shout out to D-Style Boxing. That WBA Super. You're just trying to make the franchise championship the WBA Super. So you can find a way, but you're going to take the mandatory requirements away from the fight. Larry Hamilton said, "Fannon, why don't Mikey fight Regis? Because he lose. Because he lose." And he's gonna say there's and because he got Manny Pacquiao willing to pay him for his second. Man, get out of here, man. He's trash. Trash. Manny Pacquiao versus Mikey Garcia, man. Come on, dog. I poo-poo on that fight, dog. But it'll do 700,000 pay-per-view buys, though. It'll do 600,000. It's not as good as Keith Thurman versus Mikey Garcia, but Mikey Garcia will beat him. I think Mikey Garcia will beat him. And then Mikey Garcia is going to be sitting there with a WBA. Fucking Mikey Garcia will be sitting there with a WBA 147-pound title. And will fight nobody if he gets his hands on that belt. Nobody. That's why I don't like the fight. Because if Mikey wins and he can, he's not going to fight. What's he going to do? Have a rematch with Errol Spence? No. He already got his ass whooped. Why is he getting a shot at the title? Is he going to be taking a dive or some shit for Manny? Or is Manny just comfortable that, the guy that he's really not a 147-pounder, so, the advantage is for Manny. Mikey's playing games and Manny's playing games. Exactly. Thurman would beat Mikey's ass. Thurman would beat Mikey's ass. Shawn will beat Mikey's ass. Ugas will beat Mikey's ass. Shit, dog, I ain't too confident about him beating Ray Robinson. I think Regis Kalvanakis can beat him. I think Regis Kalvanakis got a shot. He didn't look at me. First of all, Jesse Vargas is trash. Okay? Jesse Vargas is not trash, but he's not an upper-level fighter, which is why he got a drew with Mikey Garcia. That's why he got a draw with Adrian Bronner. Dude, Mikey Garcia had to weight drain Adrian Bronner. Why? You know what I mean? Why? Matter of fact, that's who Mikey Garcia need to fight. Why don't you fight Mikey? Why don't you fight rematch Adrian Bronner at 147 with no weight clause? And let the man come in weighing whatever he wants to weigh. You the same size as the man. That's the other thing. Now that we see how things have played out going, since that happened, Mikey Garcia is as big, is the same size as Adrian Bronner. He's the same size man as Adrian Bronner. He's now fighting it. He's now an undersized 147. Why did he weight drain Adrian Bronner? Mikey Garcia, a good bit of a fucking fraud, dog. Okay? That's why he gets snappy with Errol Spence Jr. because people that you think are Errol Spence Jr. fans be calling you on that. Rematch clause for Adrian Bronner. Not a rematch, excuse me, a weight drain clause. Yeah, that's exactly a rehydration clause. A heavy rehydration clause for Adrian Bronner. So that Adrian Bronner can have access to the Mexican fan base. Right? Hey, we're bringing two fan bases together. We're going to bring the Mexican fan base and we're going to bring the black fan base together. But in order, Adrian, for you to get this Mexican fan base, you got to weight drain. You can't weigh in at the weight. And didn't Mikey Garcia advise Leo Santa Cruz to do the same thing to Gervonta Tank Davis? Leo Santa Cruz is an entire bitch. Why don't you go fight the man at 135? He already had the 126-pound belt. You haven't, dude, you only fought, that was a vacant belt that Gervonta dropped. Why would he go back and fight you for a belt that he dropped? Why don't you just be a man and fight at 135? Oh, you want to fight at a 126. You want to fight at 130 for a 135-pound fake title. Man, get out of here, man. Some of you run-of-the-mill ass fighters that cannot run-of-the-mill, but run of the upper mill. Some of you run of the upper mill. Jazzo, you sound like a hater right now. Guess what? Oh, Dion Fannon, you sound like a hater right now. Yeah, do I? Now you sound like nothing because you can get the fuck out of here. I'm gonna say what I want to say. How am I hating on rehydration clauses? Because I want to see a guy fight. I want to see a guy fight at the weight class at his because I want to see who's better between Adrian Bronner and Mikey Garcia without wondering whether or not Adrian Bronner was allowed to eat breakfast. I'm saying, like, I whooped his ass. He wasn't allowed to eat for 4 days, but I whooped his ass. I was either going to whoop his ass or he was going to pay me $500,000. One or the other. I'll take both. Either it's going to be a fair fight and he's going to pay me $500,000, or he ain't going to eat for 3 days to keep the $500,000. That's what it sounds like. That's what rehydration clauses sound like to me. Fuck out of here. He weight drained him, man. That ain't no hater. He weight drained him. And he advised Leo Santa Cruz to try to weight drain Gervonta Davis. And it came out of his mouth. Him and Robert Garcia. That was their advice. Weight drain him. And they say it with pride. Weight drain him. Like that ain't an issue. Like you some fucking superhero because you weight drained somebody that was the same fucking size as you. They're the same fucking size. He moved up and fought Errol Spence Jr. at the 147-pound limit. Why wouldn't you fight Adrian Bronner at the 100 at the weight he was comfortable at? But you're willing to fight Errol Spence in it? Fuck out of here. That show Adrian Bronner's problem? No, it's not. No, it's not. Adrian Bronner's problem. You say that shit one more time, it's your fucking problem. I've seen you been saying some crazy shit I've been letting you slide on, homie. That ain't Adrian Bronner's problem. Adrian Bronner got no. Or you know, no. Let me do it this way. You're right. That is Adrian Bronner's problem. Just like it's Deontay Wilder's problem that he decided to fight a fucking cheat. Isn't that what Tyson Fury said? Oh, about the gloves, you guys act like didn't have next to no padding on it. What was Tyson Fury's response? Did he deny that the glove didn't have, that the glove was thinly padded? No. What he said was, it's the Nevada State Athletic Commission's fault. Deontay Wilder should take it up with the Nevada State Athletic Commission. But you know your shit, you know your fucking knuckles were right up against the fucking leather, right? Or whatever it is made of. Yeah, I know it, but they let me do it, so that's on them. Yeah, Deontay Wilder had a problem, and one of his problems was that he fought a cheater. Yeah, that's a problem when you deal with a cheater. When you deal with liars, cheaters, gaslighters, it creates problems for you, yes. Just like black people, right? If black people were in slavery, you're right, that was a problem for them. Black people being in slavery was definitely a problem for them. But it also showed that the people that were causing the problem were fucking scumbags. Okay? And in this situation, Mikey Garcia draining somebody because he knows that they might not have discipline outside of the ring and putting heavy stipulations on a fight where if he comes in overweight at all. And then what did Robert Garcia say after the fight? Well, it looked like he drained himself. That's what he said after the weigh-in. When he came in at 142 instead of the 144, because he wouldn't fight him at 147, he had to be at 144, not 147, because he wasn't good enough to beat Adrian Bronner if Adrian Bronner weighed 3 more pounds. And then after the weigh-in, when he came in at 142, Robert Garcia said, they were like, well, what do you think about how easily made weight? Robert Garcia said, I think he didn't take it off right and it's going to hurt him. You don't think Robert Garcia knew that shit going in? That it was going to cause that type of problem? Man, get out of here, man. That was a punk move. He could have beat Adrian Bronner without it. He could have beat him without it. If you could have beat him without it, then beat him without it. Having people fighting for people's belts and putting rehydrations in it, get the fuck out of here. That's a fucking show. That's just a show. And you're trying to beat people in negotiations. You're not trying to beat them in the ring. But it's all make-believe to him anyway. It's all make-believe. But people don't forget that stuff, man. And that's why Mikey got his ass whooped. Because he got cute. I know what I do with Errol. Errol looked like he's having a hard time making weight. I'm hearing all kind of rumors about him being undisciplined. I heard he let his trainer go. Blu-ray. I hear he's coming in. He's walking around like at 190 pounds. I think I see something. He fights for the IBF. And they got a 10-pound rehydration clause for the next day. There's a built-in rehydration clause over there. You don't think everybody was saying that Errol Spence Jr. looked like he was losing discipline. Everybody was saying it. You don't think Mikey knew that? That's what Mikey thought he saw. That's what Mikey's ass thought he saw. He thought he saw somebody that was undisciplined, gaining a shitload of weight between fights, that had a 10-pound rehydration clause built into the IBF, and he's a businessman and thinks he's fucking smart. And he got his ass whooped from pillar to fucking post. And because his little scheme didn't work, where at the end of the round, he was going to cover up, right? But at the end of the round, he was going to flurry and go like this, yeah, to the crowd. But every time he tried that shit, Errol took 2 steps back, 1, 2. You're not gonna hit me. You standing over there. I done been whooping your ass for the last 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Now I just think I'll go stand over in this corner. And when you come over here to me, then I'm gonna go over there. Because you're not gonna score anything for this last 30 seconds. You're not gonna touch me. Can't wait around and Sugar Ray Leonard me. We saw that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we already saw it. You're not going to Sugar Ray Leonard me. You're not going to. But he did, though, by Errol's own admission, catch Errol Spence out of shape. He did know everything that Errol Spence Jr. admitted after the car accident, that he had not been staying in shape in between fights. And that had stopped after the Kell Brook fight. Because after the Kell Brook fight, he was still ducked. And he was having a hard fighting once a year because everybody was ducking him. He got used to fighting once a year. And once he was fighting, or like long periods of time between them, and he got undisciplined. Everybody in the boxing world knew it. And Mikey tried to take advantage of it. Now Mikey's trying to take advantage of Manny Pacquiao, because Manny Pacquiao was getting stiffed straight to the fucking face by Keith Thurman. But guess what Mikey gets to do? Mikey gets to say, hey, I bring the Mexican fan base. Right? Because what well-known Mexican fighter is there at 147? None. So here comes Mikey. We can get ours. We can get hey, Manny, let's do it on Cinco de Mayo. Let's do it next year, May 5th. Cinco de Mayo. It'll be huge. Fuck out of here, man. All this strategizing and all that. Mikey got his ass whooped by Errol. Manny would get his ass whooped by Errol. Mikey would get his ass whooped by Terrence Crawford. Manny would get his ass whooped by Terrence Crawford. I know it, you know it, they know it, so get them the fuck out of my face and let's move forward. Unless Manny Pacquiao was willing to try to prove me wrong by fighting either one of them. But if he's not willing to fight either one of them, give up the belt. Give up the belt. Stop wasting people's time, because that makes the Errol Spence Terrence Crawford fight that much more easy to do. Ugas fights for the championship against somebody. And then Ugas fights Errol after Errol beats Danny. And boom, we got undisputed. Get out of here, Mikey, or take your raggedy ass back down to 140 where you fucking belong. And fight the undisputed champion at 140. Oh, I forgot. They don't fuck with you over there at Top Rank, so you can't. Because Bob Arum's going to be like, well, you know, he's going to want to. He don't want too much. I can't even do that shit. He don't want too much fucking money. That's what he's going to say. He want too much money. He's going to want too much money. Whatever, man. We'll call the game. We'll call the games. We'll call the games for what they are. But they are games, and you guys can stop acting like those aren't games. Just like Jupiter B said about what Dazn is doing with all the PBC fighters, constantly attaching PBC Dazn fighters' names to PBC fighters, but yet selling them fights with other people, right? They just like, and this is what Jupiter B said. They say, "Oh, AJ's ducking. Deontay Wilder's ducking AJ." And all the while, AJ fighting people like Carlos Takam and Joseph Parker. How many fights did they get to carry that through? Like 5 fights that they got over on that with, right? That Deontay Wilder was ducking Anthony Joshua. They carried that shit all the way till AJ got his ass knocked out. Same stuff. It's going the same stuff. Jermall Charlo. Now Demetrius Andre. He didn't take this offer from dude. What now? Why you guys keep talking about? Now I understand me talking about offers. I understand me talking about offers. Okay, because I don't work for Sports Illustrated. I don't work for DAZN. Me gossiping about rumors flying around the fucking boxing world is okay for me. I'm just a boxing fan. But you're supposed to be the journalist. You're spreading some shit that a known liar, Eddie Hearn, is pushing. Like, Demetrius Andre has been running around all over the place trying to fight Jermall Charlo. When have you seen Demetrius Andre going on all over the place trying to fight Jermall Charlo? When he ducked Jermall. The fuck up out of here, man. Y'all be trying to make shit up. What's going on, Code Redeemer? But y'all hit me some more questions, man. Oh, I'm way down on this, man. He said, hey, Bumpy Thompson said he's one of the trolls sent to disrupt Fannon cooking. Oh, you know how it is. They stay in here, man. They stay in here. You know what I mean? Like ass pimples. Just can't fucking get rid of them. God dog, man. It's like, them motherfuckers like having ass pimples on your third date with a new girl. Fuck. Hope she don't see this shit. Nigga. Please. Did you really just ask me that? Yeah, you gone. If you didn't wonder if you were going to get thrown out for asking me how much I weigh, fuck do you care? But the answer is 265, unfortunately. I haven't weighed myself in a while. Last time I weighed myself, I weighed 263. I should be weighing 240. Big enough to slap fire out of somebody. I'll tell you that. Shit. Big enough where this shit actually hurts a lot. Hey, dog, it's just that's what they feel like. They feel like every time you sit down, the motherfuckers is right there, dog, bugging the shit out you. Get them once every couple years, but when they there, fuck, they gotta go. That's why I think of them dudes, little maggots, dog, like potatoes. I mean, you know, whatever, man. They got their purpose. You know what I mean? Like everybody got their purpose, dog. Biters got their purpose. Like, you know, everybody got their purpose. In passive student said, I weigh 234. I really want to weigh 220. Like, I really want to weigh 220. Real like 220, dude. I'm just, it's there at 220. 220, I'm good. Especially with I've been doing a lot of lifting and weight lifting. I've been doing a lot of lifting. So, you know, it is a good bit muscle, but, you know, it ain't as much muscle as I would like it to be. You know what I mean? So, hey, wow, somebody said because he's Mikey. Yeah, exactly. Dr. Professor said, Fannon, you're a reputable boxing journalist. Respect. Hey, look, man, do not call me that shit. I thought you liked me, man. No, dog. I mean, journalist, I guess it is journalism because I am journaling. I guess it is. I guess technically speaking, it is. Because anytime you talk about that shit, it is. You're here. I am participating in journalism, but I am not a journalist. Okay? Just like I could be I could play basketball, but I'm not a basketball player. I'm out there having fun. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm doing here. He said, get up with Blu-ray. Man, Blu-ray too expensive. Blu-ray said, call me. You got $1 million. Call me. I'm like, man, I ain't got $1 million. Shit. Look, man, I ain't trying to get, look. Try to get down to 190. Let me tell you, getting down to 190 requires that I get down to 220 first. Okay? Let me get my ass down to get down to 195, dog. I am not 195. I've weighed 195 in the last like 6 years. Dog, that's like carb depletion and shit. I don't know. I probably should be 195. You know what I mean? I probably should be. I'm a fat ass. I know. You know what I mean? I'm like not a real one, but I'm talking about like athletically. You know what I mean? Like I was always a big guy. Like, you know, always heavy. But it is what it is, man. Rampage Jackson said pause. Yeah, pause. Definitely pause. For now, where you get your mic from? My mic sounds nice. My mic sounds nice. Step 2. My mic, this is my mic. It is a Blue Yeti. It's a Blue Yeti. I did, though, get rid of this shit because this is what was screwing me over. But I forgot I had a Blue Yeti that was sitting right over there. I just needed to switch the mounts out because you see this mount is gray, but the mic is black because this mic used to be on this. This is Shure, which is the shit. I love this mic. This mic is the shit. This mic gets the job done, and this mic is good. You know what I mean? So just so you know, for the mic shoppers, this mic here is probably somewhere around $600, $500, $600. This mic here is about $200, and this mic here is about $60 and will work for most of you. But if you have 100,000 people every couple days watching your videos, you want your sound to sound nice. So it's worth it. For me, I find it's worth it. But that's that nice shit. Yeah, I got mics all over the place. I like mics. I hate you, Alex Santos. Stop eating those sandwiches and laying down on them. Nigga, I'm chubby. I'm not a fucking slob. Who the fuck would eat a sandwich and wind up falling asleep on a sandwich? How do you fall asleep on your sandwich? Yeah, you got the Rode NC1. Yeah, that's a good mic. You know who got the sweet mic? Boxing Eagle got a sweet ass mic. Boxing Eagle, that's the Boxing Eagle at the mic. What does he got that? I can't remember the name of that mic, dude. It's the mic I wanted to get, but it was out of production. So this is similar to it. But I will tell you, I don't say a lot because, you know, I don't really talk about Boxing Eagle a lot. But I will tell you, man, Boxing Eagle got the best sound of anybody. Like, he's got on his videos, his sound, excellent sound, dog. Like, I don't know if he's a sound engineer or what, but his sound is like, no matter how I try, I cannot get my sound to sound anything like Boxing Eagle's sound. That shit is crisp. He's got to be like an engineer. Maybe I don't know if he's an engineer or not, but it seems like because he raps all the time, maybe he does something like that. But it was really good shit, dude. How much is your mic? I just did it. This mic here, it's probably 500, something like that. This is about 200. This is about 100, less than 100, less than 100. This, you don't even need to waste your time with unless you're really trying to, like, you know, you got to have economic incentive to do this because that shit is like, this is for like, that's a professional mic. That's what it is. That's just a professional mic. But let me get out of here, man. I know I'm talking about dumb shit. Look, DP, I don't eat in the bed, dog. Just stop. That's some corny shit. I don't eat in the bed. I don't know what you're talking about. I would never fall asleep on top of a fucking sandwich because I wouldn't be sitting there eating in my bed. That shit's nasty. You get crumbs, all kind of shit in there, man. I got a wife. Fuck no. You got ants and shit going all through your room. Nigga, eat in the kitchen at a table where you're supposed to be. You know what I mean? Anyway, man. Oh, he said he's a tech nerd. Yeah, dog. No. I talk loud as shit. But nah. He does excellent work with his sound, straight up. But look, I'm out of here. Yeah. I'm on the real, man. His sound is listen to it. It's like it has this like it just something about it is like super fucking clear. And like Ali Voso, if Ali Voso listening, Ali Voso could probably hear that. But sound engineers, yeah, of course he tries. Man, this is the fuck out of here with this cornball shit, man. Nobody trying to hear that shit. Sitting on sandwiches. Who gonna sit on a sandwich, dog? And who eats? I ain't 78. I don't eat no sandwiches. You know what I mean? I'll tell you what, I might fall asleep eating. Nigga, ask your wife. Nigga, what? Anyway, I'm out, dog. I said, I beg to differ. You have a great camera. No, I got great cameras. The cameras are good. My cameras are nice, but not the sound. The processing of the sound. No, he knows he can hear. Processing your sound is a matter of you being able to hear. And I don't have the hearing of a musician. Musicians have excellent hearing, like excellent hearing. And they focus on all kind of different things that I just can't, because I'm not into music. I mean, I'm not really into music like that. I just don't hear it like they hear it. You know what I mean? Just like y'all can't think like I think. It's just what it is. You know what I mean? Y'all be trying to hang with me and shit y'all can't hang with me in. And I be laughing the whole time like, dog, seriously, I'm a pro. You can't, I'm a pro. What are you going to, dog, I'm a pro. Don't feel bad. I'm a pro. You know what I'm saying? I had a good friend, I have a dude I like, man, I love this dude. No matter what a jackass he behaves like from time to time. Love this dude, man. But I'm like, dog, look, don't feel bad that you cannot beat me in an argument. I'm a professional. You're not going to. You know what I'm saying? I'm not upset that I'm not going to outbox, that I can't outbox Errol Spence. That's what he does. This is what I do. You guys aren't going to beat me at that. It's what I do for money. You know what I mean? I stay up at night thinking about it. Just not going to happen for you, dog. Y'all know, but that's my dude. I love him. Hey, I don't love him because, you know, like that. But as a brother, got a lot of brotherly love for dude, man. And no ill will towards him at all. And I hope you guys continue to support him and all that good stuff whenever he's over whatever the fuck he on. You know what I mean? But, you know, it is what it is. All right, man. And with that, I'm out. DP, before I do anything else, I'm throwing you the fuck out. Let my last act of today be throwing your ass out. I have been seeing you with your shit for a minute, and I keep letting it slide because people keep letting you slide, but I keep seeing shit that I don't like from you, talking to me. So if they like talking to you like that and don't mind it, talk to them like that. You talk to me like that, and you are the fuck up out of here. Okay? I do this shit hours and hours a week. It ain't easy. Okay? And it's consistent. Dude, I don't have any room to act fake during it. All right, man. And holla at you, dog. If you want to come back underneath another name, come back under another name, man. Fucking sandwich jokes. The shit ain't even funny. Anyway, it is what it is. Oh, gee, do you think Charlo should be getting a good fights coming up? And if you who do you think it is? Yeah, he's going to get a good fight, man. He's on pay-per-view. People are going to want to fight him. Hopefully it'll be Demetrius Andrade. But look, man, I'm about to get up out of here. Much love. Peace. And DB, get a new name or get a new DB and bring your ass back. I like you. I see you a lot. I don't mind trolls in the comments. Really, I know a lot of you guys are trolls in the comment section and do all that shit. I don't get into it all the time. But with me, dog, leave me alone because, dog, this is not easy. I do this so often and for so many hours a week that, dude, I don't want you around, man, if you're going to make my experience unhappy, okay? You have to be happy. I have to be happy. We all have to enjoy what we're doing. Otherwise, it's not worth it, okay? So please, no more cornball fucking jokes and stupid shit like that out of you when you come back. All right. And with that, we out. Peace.